Hi everyone, this is just a quick little video to talk about the chickens and the eggs that one of your teachers has kindly organised for you guys to watch hatching and to see them grow for the next week or so. The company that we get these from has incubated them for 20 days and made sure that they had live chickens in them before we got them. And then we keep them in an incubator while they hatch, and I'll show you that a little bit later. And by day 21 they should have all hatched. So it takes 21 days from the time the egg starts to be warmed up to 38 degrees to the time it actually hatches into a chicken. Now this piece of equipment here is called a brooder, and a brooder is very, very important because for the first couple of weeks of the chicken's life they can't actually keep their temperature up, so they actually need to be kept warm or have somewhere where they can go to keep warm. Otherwise their organs will fail and they will die. So you need to actually make sure they've always got somewhere that they can keep warm, and that's what the light bulb in the brooder here does. The brooder also has sawdust in it to keep the chickens clean, and has food and water in here as well. And it's very important to make sure that sawdust doesn't get too dirty or damp, and that there's always food and water available to them. In the first 2 days of their life, they actually have a yolk inside their tummy, inside their abdomen, that keeps them fed. So they actually don't need a lot of food in the first 2 days, but after that they'll start eating quite regularly. Now, like all living things, you need to treat them with respect. They're delicate little animals and you need to hold them carefully. You don't squeeze them too hard and you don't drop them, but they are you can perfectly able to pick them up. You cradle them in your fingers very gently without squashing them, and then put them onto your hand, like that. And they'll very quickly tell you when they're unhappy. They'll start squeaking loudly. This one's squeaking loudly because he's missing his friends, or he might be a bit cold. But if they stop squeaking, you know they're happy. If they do squeak, you know they're unhappy. And so make sure you treat them carefully, and if they do make too much loud squeaking or cheeping, that you put them back into the thing. You just simply grab them in your hands like that without squeezing and very gently put them back down again. So over the next few days you'll be weighing them to see how quickly they grow, and you'll be handling them. And what I'll do is I'll actually put different coloured dots on them with food dye so you can tell which chicken is the one you've been measuring. Yeah, hope you have fun. So this is the incubator that's being used for this project. The incubator is a special piece of equipment that keeps the air inside at 38 degrees, which is the temperature at which eggs are incubated. The eggs will stay in here until they're fully hatched, and once they're hatched like little chicken there, you leave them in there for another probably 6 hours until they're fully dry. The water containers in there are to keep the air nice and humid, because when a chick starts to crack the shell open, if the air is too dry, it can actually dry the chick on the inside of the shell and make it stick, so it can't turn to crack the shell open, and it eventually won't be able to hatch, and of course then dies. It's very, very important that these incubator is kept in a nice warm place without drafts, because even though it provides its own heat, the cold can come through the perspex at the sides and cause the eggs to get chilled. The other thing you'll notice too is that the chick in there is quite damp still. The chick will be left in there for about 6 hours until it's fully dry. And when you're hatching eggs, it's actually really important that the eggs are touching each other, because when eggs are hatching, they can actually hear each other. On day 20 they start to cheep inside the shells, and they can feel the vibrations from the other chickens, and that actually encourages them all to hatch at the same time. And this is what happens in a chicken's nest, but in an incubator you have to make a point of pushing all the eggs together so that they can actually feel each other hatching. The eggs started hatching on day 20, going overnight into day 21, so to record the hatching for you guys, I've used time-lapse photography, which speeds up the hatching process by about 30 times.
It usually takes about 1 to 2 hours for a chick from the time it cracks the egg to the time it hatches, although this can be quicker or longer. Once hatched, it takes about 6 hours for the chick to dry and also to get strength in its legs so that it can actually walk around. You'll notice these chicks will be stumbling around the incubator for quite some time. So overnight, we had a total of 6 chicks hatch out over a period of about 12 hours, and another one hatched out during the morning. So in total, we got 7 chicks hatching out of 10 eggs, which is actually quite normal in nature. Not all the eggs that grow inside will actually end up hatching.